Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It. I am here with Hilaire.
Hilaire, CEO of Out of Body USA. What's good, y'all? Thank you, Ms. Deonica, for having me.
It is my pleasure.
Yes,
welcome.
ma'am.
So we're going to be talking about his business. We're going to be talking about what inspires him. We're going to be talking about just him in general, everything that he does. Young entrepreneur. You already know I had to pick you. Because I looked at his Instagram and I got some inspiration from your website because I seen that you wanted people to experience, an out-of-body experience while wearing your clothing. And I wanted to hear more about that.
So that's actually very deep, though. I like that you asked me that because it basically ties with spiritual growth. It ties with the thought of astral projection. That concept while you're meditating, that's why I trademarked a single meditation yoga symbol, and it has my higher self on the back. That's why this is my most sold product. So an out-of-body experience, like I said, it's this theory that you experience your soul out of your body while you're meditating in your highest form. That's what it is. Hence the name out-of-body came from. Yeah, they got you, huh?
The reason I'm tripping out right now because literally last night I can literally call my best friend on the phone, my sister on the phone, my boyfriend on the phone, and they will all tell you the same thing. What did I experience last night? Right before we do this interview.
An out-of-body experience.
Literally last night. I cannot make this up. In my dreams, that's why I'm tripping out right now because this is my first time ever experiencing that. Something out of...
She can't even figure it out. Like she was sleeping, she felt it. That's how you know it's real. Shop out of body. You feel
that
me?
Is so weird. So now I got a cop of fit for real.
For real.
But I'm gonna let you finish. I'm just tripped out because that was my first time experiencing something like that last night, and I met you for the very first time today.
Yeah, it's a very heavy concept. It comes from like this origin of spiritual practices when it comes to bettering yourself. It comes to entering your mind, dealing with your subconscious. And I know you talk about spiritual growth a lot so it's a very key point in meditation because that's when you get so deep where you feel disconnected from the third dimension. The third dimension is here, you feel me? And there's nothing in here that cannot tell me dimensions aren't real, because how come I can put a bug on the table, draw a circle around it, and he can't tell that he could just walk over it? You feel me?
Right.
2-dimensional. But we can see 3D, so we know that that's flat. But if you look at the desk right here, we can tell this is 3D, it's a sphere.
Right.
Just simple stuff like that. It revolves deep thinking. So I really wanted to build a brand on human connection and spiritual connection at the same time because I feel like it's two separate type of things. And that's why I feel like I connect with the crowd so well.
Yes, because I'm really big into spirituality and spiritual growth, like you said. I feel like I'm going through my spiritual awakening, and my journey has been crazy. So for you to just already be having something like that available for us is pretty nice. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, the way I was thinking with it is I need to build a brand with a theme that connects to certain people. I'm gonna give y'all some game. things when it comes to building a brand, if you have a brand that targets everybody, then it targets nobody. There's a lot of brands out here, including Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Marc Jacobs, Off-White, you name it. These designer brands, they target specific people. They've lasted 60 plus years. So how do you think you're going to last by trying to target everybody? You can't be distinctive that way. And I can't identify what you're standing for. And that's the problem that I had when my brand first started off. The name Out of Body always came from that concept. But it told me something when I would tell somebody, this is what Out of Body means. They would tell me, oh, I didn't know that. That means that's a problem because that means my brand isn't targeting nothing specific. So I have to make somebody feel something. I have to put some type of theme behind my brand to connect with the audience more, because selling is logical or emotional, and it's way more emotional than it is logical. You sell to the heart. Nobody's buying the product for the product. They know what they're getting. They're selling towards their feeling towards the product. So boom, that's something that I figured out, and it's been doing good ever since. I like connecting with people anyways.
Right, and I think it's an excellent way to connect with people because there's so many people who are into that, and it's a lot of people who are not into that at the same time. So like how you said, you have a crowd that you specifically have targeted, and those people are going to be faithful to you because they know what message you're trying to spread, and they support it, and they love it, and they like it, and that's cool.
Yeah, like I said, when I picked a distinctive crowd to sit there and target. I was able to market better. I was able to sell better. I was able to create better content. It's just pick your audience, identify your audience, and sit there and gravitate towards it. Because another thing that I've been doing is personalizing my face and branding my face as well. Branding my person on my face, thus branding my brand, my logo out of body. It's two different things, and that's how I started getting more traction too. And that's kind of crazy that somebody can just buy clothes because of what I stand for. Right. They won't even check out the brand, but they'll buy it from me because of what I stand for. That's how I personalize my face and branded my face as well. So another key thing is, for when you want to do something, do what you do, realize what you do, and sit there and analyze the reason you do it before the money gets involved. And I think that will work out in the best favor for you, because now you're doing it with pure intentions. You'll get more audience that way. That's just how it works.
Right. It is kind of, and like the way things are today, it's kind of hard, to ignore the numbers and say, oh, the numbers don't matter, and it could easily discourage you. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing that you don't let it discourage you, but your numbers are good. I'm not gonna
numbers are good. Numbers are
good. Numbers.
Good numbers. Good numbers. See, she know that too. She know that.
But so it's a good thing that you don't get discouraged, because you are a young man, and it would be easy for you to just, like, oh, you know what, man, this ain't working out. I don't like how this going, and just quit and go do. Go work for somebody else. But I'm just happy that you just pour it into yourself, and you're very confident in yourself.
Oh, very, very. If y'all want to do something in life, man, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Because a lot of people will come to you with their opinions. And there's another thing about opinions. Let's be real. Let's be honest to the truth of the cosmos right now. When you die, 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, people will get over it probably. In about 6 months, people will stop talking about you. So, but everybody's going to be on topic when you die. I'm not trying to be that sad sack person, but that's just how it is. Everybody's going to be on topic when you die. So if the pinnacle of the topic of your life is when you're no longer here, then it doesn't even make sense to value people's opinion while you're here. It makes no sense. It's not going to get you anywhere. If you don't even like the life that they live, then their perception means nothing. I go by this saying of, your perception is a reflection of me. Your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is the awareness of me. That's how you do it. I might put that on the clothes. I might put that, because that probably just hit somebody. Yeah. See, that's how I go.
You might as well. Look, might as well. You got this.
Genius ideas is just being played out right here. See, that's why I like these type of moments. I didn't even think of that until I said it. Until I said it.
So now you got your idea for something to come out. You got any news? I know you just dropped your
the Higher Self collection. Yeah, the Higher Self collection. My number one selling collection. My number one selling collection to this day.
You plan on making more of those, or are you gonna drop something else? Because I was wondering.
I try to build some exclusiveness with it. I take heavy inspiration from Virgil Abloh from Off-White and Kanye West. When it comes to fashion, they built their brand off exclusiveness. Like, I could have restocked everything and made more money, but I feel like it makes you more hungry by the fact that you can't get it. So whatever I drop next, you're gonna make sure you get it.
Right.
You're gonna make sure you get it. And I tested that theory, and it kind of worked when a lot of people were flooding my DMs. Yo, when the next drop, bro? When the next drop comes? I'm tired of looking at the thing saying sold out, because apparently it's not coming back. So when's the next drop? When's the next drop? And I'm like, yeah, next drop, February, most likely.
Okay, cool.
February. See, I threw that in there for y'all. Sign up for the SMS list. Boom.
Yeah, make sure y'all go sign up. Don't forget. Now, if you missed the drop, it's your fault, because I just told you what month is coming out, and I just told you to go for the SMS list. And I'm going to tell y'all again, just in case y'all didn't hear, but you should have heard. February. No date in February yet, but February. Just remember February. It's next month. Valentine's Day. Get y'all a present. Woo-wee. That's actually a good idea. Look, I don't know what you're going to have yet, but get your boo something. I'm going to make my boo get me something. I'm telling y'all, this next piece is going to remind y'all that it's okay to be misunderstood. That's all I'm going to say. This next piece is going to remind y'all that it's okay for people to treat you different and be misunderstood. It's not a bad thing. Difference is beauty. Put it like that. It is true. Because a lot of people don't realize you're not going to get the same reaction from everyone. You're not going to get the same treatment from everyone. It's going to be different and everybody's going to have different experiences.
Everybody.
Because, for example, I always kind of wanted to talk about something like this because it always gets brought up. This is totally off topic, but it kind of goes with what we're talking about in a sense. For example, a lot of people, like, I'll look at you and I see you're successful in what you do, and you can inspire me in a way where you make me want to start something like that, you know? But who's to say that is going to work for me? You know, it works for you because that is for you. And it might not work for me because that might not be my purpose. You know, I'm on this earth to do something completely different from what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand that, and they get discouraged. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is if you get inspired by someone and it doesn't work out for you, it's just not your purpose. You're just on this earth to be doing something else. So don't give up on, you know, trying to do something for yourself. That just may not be your avenue, you know?
You know, the beauty of meeting people in business is when you're networking with people with skills that you lack. That's the good thing. Like, a lot of people say, make money, not friends. Whoever told y'all is either lying or they're broke, because you cannot sit there and make the most money without making friends. This past year, I have literally probably tripled my income by making friends with people that have skills that I lack. And I could either apply that to start a new business or apply that to the business I already own now and make it even better. That's the thing about that, you know? So that's really a blessing in disguise. So do not take friends for granted. It's just the friends that you're picking. Make sure it's the friends that are aligned with what you want to do.
What he said. And I actually feel like whenever you are working with other people, it makes your craft so much more enjoyable. At the same time, like, I ain't gonna lie, doing my podcast by myself is cool and all, but like sitting here talking to you, it's a lot more fun. It's the conversation. I have somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just sitting there talking to myself, like looking at the wall. And then also, I'm helping you out as well. You know, I'm so happy.
See, that's the thing about
I want to be able to promote you as well.
The thing about that, we just gave each other content. Boom.
Look at that. We looking out for each other. We scratching
look
each other back without even trying.
Look at the beauty in networking and connection, y'all. Like, that's really how you can help each other. You know, there's too much money. I grew out of competition. I used to compete with my people in my area a lot, but I grew out of it because the economy is so broad right now. There's so much money. And there's too much money for us just to not be rich at the same time. Like, it's not like if you get rich, you took money from me. Like, okay, I'll get rich too. That's how it works. So competition, I really grew out of it. Just focus on me. And by me sitting there saying, okay, I'm gonna focus on me, I started competing with myself. So now it's like, okay, cool, I could be the best version of myself. And that's boom.
Right.
You know?
And then it feels better setting up those challenges and you just watch yourself grow and you just realize over time, you're like, dang, like, look how far I've come. I'm pretty sure you do that. You look back on maybe old collections and you probably see screenshots and stuff from, you see your numbers and stuff going up and your analytics and your sales and stuff like that. So personal growth is always nice to see as well.
It's always nice to see. And speaking of reflecting, you know, I'm about to talk about my story and how I came back from a lot. So I'm gonna sum it up for y'all. You know, I was an athlete. My junior year, I caught a heart illness, and I was not able to play basketball. I was a hooper. And as soon as I came off of that, I tore my ACL in the sport of football. I went through identity crisis. So, yeah, I know how it feels to be at rock bottom. To anybody who's at rock bottom, I know how that feels. But I sat there in my bed. I said, something has to shake, or all this fighting and all this pain that I'm feeling is not worth anything. So I have to make something shake. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start something that's going to make people feel what I feel, and we're all just going to heal from it at the same time. And that's where Out of Body came from. Dang. That's the sum of it. You know, that's why Out of Body has such a spiritual path behind it, because it took my spiritual growth and it took my philosophy, my own beliefs, and my own way of healing to sit there and say, okay, Zay, this version of you is here right now, and this version of you was right there. This person right here is dead, but you need to do it for that person. Do it for the person that's dead right now. You feel me? Like that.
Yeah. Dang, that made me feel weird. That was deep.
See, like you know, when you get into those deep concepts, it makes you creative. You know, it really makes you pop out with anything. That's where this came from. The My Higher Self collection. I feel like that's why it's my number one soul collection, because it's attached to emotions so much. Right. You know, there's people that didn't even buy it, and people that will look at it on the profile and say, man, that motivates me. I don't know how, I don't know what it means, but it motivates me. See, so
and that's big. That's powerful.
Powerful. Very.
Said, you can just feel it.
Got her thinking. She like, man, boy, that was it right there. I'm telling you. She like, man, that was it right there.
That's really deep. You know, I'm so mad because my phone is over there. But I wanted to also ask you, what inspires you the most? Like, that's one question I like to ask everybody. Like, what inspires you the most, or what is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration when it comes to me starting my business was life itself. In all honesty, as I found myself, I really have identified that life itself is my biggest inspiration. Because number one thing that I've learned, if something is worth doing, then it's worth doing well. So mistakes, trauma, pain is actually normal. You know, it's cool to make a mistake. It's cool to suffer. That's the value of suffering. It's cool to endure everything as long as you learn from it. When you don't learn from something, that's when you have to start worrying about yourself, because it's like, okay, you suffer for no reason. You know? Right. That's what it is. Suffering for no reason is when you're actually not doing anything. You know, there's this entrepreneur cycle. It's called the success, failure, complacency cycle. Failure leads to learning. Learning leads to success. Success leads to complacency. You have to sit there and become so aware of the human traits of yourself that you skip the complacency part. You know, so that's when I got better and started practicing my craft even more and started falling in love with it more. I sat there, and every single time I hit a new milestone and got complacent, I identified it, so I was able to skip over it quickly. You know,
I never knew about that. That's something I have to work on. I'm not gonna lie.
See, but now that I said it, it's like, yeah, that is real. You know.
Yeah.
Now that I said it, you know, I brought your awareness to it. It probably was just a subconscious thing at that point, but when I said something about it, it's like, kind of right. Because when I did this, I did feel like resting right here. When I did this, I did take the day off right here that I normally don't take. You know, stuff like that. So
I do that a lot. I'll give myself a lot of breaks, and I feel like I'm deserving of them. But it's just like I could do a lot more in my day, and stop getting like so frustrated. You know how I was telling you earlier, I'm like, I get overwhelmed and stuff like that. I just need to learn how to overcome those obstacles and just work with them.
But also another thing that I learned is being with an entrepreneur in the industry, it really does come with work, and it does come with stress. So all that fight and might that you put into the work and the craft that you're trying to perfect, you need to rest with the same intensity. But that does not mean rest with more intensity. That does not mean, okay, you got the rest you deserve, let's get back to work. Nah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, because then tomorrow will never come, and that's when you fall off. Right. That's when it's done, you know. So I did get to that point right before this collection dropped. It was, you know, I was just, you know, I'm gonna just post on Instagram every day. I wasn't on TikTok. I didn't have my ad campaign. It wasn't sent to any influencers. You feel me? It was just there. So actually, I'm gonna confess something to y'all. The first 2 days of this drop, I didn't sell anything. I didn't sell anything until I sat there and said, bro, I need to put this plan that I had into this product. This plan into this product that I said was gonna make it money. I did not execute yet, so I have to execute that plan. Boom. Execute the plan. Now I'm up 2 bands. So we good. You know, up $2,000 and $3,000 on profit. So
nice.
You know, we
that's good.
You know, lit.
It's really good.
So it's just all a learning experience. Learning experiences are really the beauty of life. The value of suffering is a real thing. It really is a real thing. It's just like I said, if you do not learn from what you're suffering from, then you know it's bad, because you're not mad that you're suffering. You're mad at whatever you're suffering from. So if you don't sit there and just say, you know what, instead of being mad, how about I just sit there, because I already know what I'm suffering from. How about I just identify what's making me mad and then go change it, and then maybe I won't be mad anymore. But you know, that's common logic. A lot of humans don't think like that. Right.
That is common. That's what I had to. It took me. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a little minute to realize that. And once you start thinking that way, it makes everything a lot easier to deal with. Just because you already identified what the problem is. The only problem is how we're gonna solve this problem. Literally that. And it's just facing it head on, I guess. But just sitting there being frustrated or being mad about it is not going to change the situation at all. You're just wasting time at that point. That is just kind of, it's common sense, like you said, but it's this.
I learned something from this entrepreneur named Alex Hormozy. He said, a happy man has 1,000 wishes. A sad man has one. A happy man is sitting there, focused on being happy, number one. A sad man, focusing on being sad. There's two different things. A happy man will sit there and focus on all the stuff that he's doing, saying yes to everything, and now he's piling up, and now his focus is done. A sad man is just focused on being happy. This might sound ironic, but forget about happiness. Forget about happiness and do as I just said. Identify why you're sad, because now you're focused on what you're doing. Now you're focused on the task that you're in hand with, and you're not piled up with all this other junk that comes with emotions and emotions. You feel me? So if I sit there and say, I am sad because I did not do this right, and now that I've learned from it, I know how to do this right. Okay, learn from it. Do this right now. I'm not sad anymore. Boom. You know, that's just
simple. Here.
Simple. Very.
It's that easy, really. Makes your life better to be with you. But it's cold out here. I'm not gonna lie.
Very
fingers cold.
My fingers are cold a little bit. But another thing, I wanted to say something. Any young entrepreneur that is focused on making the biggest amount of money that they can possible. The economy has gotten so broad to where money is no longer equivalent to hard work, and that's crazy. It's the hustler, it's the worker, the grinder in you that's literally saying, if I get this hard work done, I will make the most money. And I fool myself with that every time, because the way money works is who could be the best coach, who could be the problem solver. That's where money comes. Money comes from solving problems, because it comes in after a problem is solved. You know, you even notice it's just like a quarterback or the football coach. The head coach is never at practice. The head coach is never at practice for anything. The head basketball coach, the head track coach, the head football coach, they're always in their office chilling, but they make the most money because they're solving problems that the assistant coaches and everybody else got to handle. They don't make as much money as him. So the worker in somebody will say, how can I get the hardest amount of work done to make the most amount of money? The boss in you says, which problems can I solve that will generate the most profit? Boom. See, I'm saying a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of stuff.
Good. I'm just listening to you because you spend a lot.
Yeah, saying, it's a lot of language is being spoken right here. Seriously.
My bad. You can go ahead.
Nah, I wasn't really saying nothing. Nah. I was just, I was reflecting. I was like, when I say something, I'll be like, damn, that was good. like that was good. Like, you got to record that because you're not going to remember that you said that. Like,
that's how it always is.
That's how it is.
My, excuse me. I guess my goal, my goal. what am I talking about?
I messed her mind up, y'all.
I'm like so thrown off right now. But I wanted to ask you, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
If I could give advice to my younger self, I would tell him, seek options. Seek options, because life comes less stressful when you sit there and prepare. The one who prepares the most wins. So I would sit there and say, just in case this happens, fall back on this. In case this happens, put $1,000 towards this, because my younger self did not know how to manage money. I spent it every time I got it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would tell my younger self. So any young people out there, seek your options everywhere they go. Everywhere you go, seek your options. The one who prepares the most wins. Remember that.
Keep your options open, you guys.
Keep your options open. Prepare, do your research, anything. Have multiple career paths if you want to.
That's a big one, because nobody ever really thinks about. I'm happy you said that. Nobody ever really thinks about that, having multiple sources of income. Like, whenever I was growing up, well, I'm still growing. I'm a woman. I'm grown, whatever. But like, I'm thinking one job, and I'm thinking work for somebody. I wasn't even thinking like, oh, do something for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking, oh, maybe I should go to college and get me a career somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you did say that. So if there's anybody that is on the younger side watching this, and you, like in your beginning 20s or before 20 years old, just take that advice and run away with it, for real. I'm happy that you said that.
And you know what's the crazy thing about life? If you are 18 through 35 years old, you're still in the first quarter. You have all the time in the world. A lot of these brands were created, a lot of these businesses were created when the owner was in his 50s. And there's still billion-dollar generational companies. I'm telling you right now, if you're 18 through 35, please do not stress about life. You know, when you turn 36 and you still don't know what you want to do, you have to literally sit there and say, okay, maybe I am the problem. But 18 through 35, you're in the first quarter. You're in the first quarter. You are.
I think the same thing. And we'd be really hard on ourselves. And I'm like, dang, I'm just 20 something. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. And I think one reason I'm really hard on myself is because I'm a parent. But yeah, like how you said, in that age group, we're all really young. We're just figuring stuff out. Half of us just getting away from our parents and stuff like that. And it's just, we so used to watching the way our parents have done things, and that could be kind of brainwashing, you know? You've been around them so long, so it is kind of hard for you to think of what you want to do for yourself, because you got these people you've been with your whole life in your head telling you, you know, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. So it's kind of hard to think for yourself sometimes. But yeah, that in that age, yeah, it's still young. Like, that's really young. I always be telling people when they be in their 30s and they're like, I'm old. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, you're not even that much older than me.
Exactly. You know,
but
people act like 30 years old is the peak of human life. Like,
right.
you're in your prime, but you're not dead yet. Like,
right.
You're good, I promise. Like, you're not going to decay for another half a century. You're okay, man, I promise. You know? So, one of my really, really, really controversial opinion about college. You brought it up, so, you know.
Yeah, go for it.
Man, in my opinion, well, nah. You know, not even my opinion. You know what? How will I start this off? I gotta start this off good. This has to be a clip on Instagram, how good this has to be. You know. Alright. See, the thing about college is so outdated that people don't even realize how outdated it is. If the economy changes every 3 months, and you could go look this up because things get more expensive, things change prices. Look at the prices of eggs. You know, the price of eggs came out of nowhere, but they weren't that way 3 months ago. You know, eggs cost exactly. So if the economy changes every 3 months and you are literally going to college for literal economy advice, like literal how to work for yourself and make money, that is literally centuries behind. Like that's crazy. That's centuries behind. Like, I have somebody going to college for business, and I'm like, why are you going to college for business? Why don't you just start a business? You know,
Right.
Why don't you just start a business? He said, nah, you know, I'm going for business administrator. I want to start a business. No, you're learning how to be an administrative for someone else's business.
Right.
Like, you're not learning anything. So, you know, I would tell you drop out. I didn't go. Look at me. I didn't.
Right. That's the thing. You don't have to go to college to be successful. And a lot of people don't understand that sometimes. I don't want to tell you my opinion. I don't want to tell y'all my opinion on college. I'm going to just be quiet over
She don't like it either.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about college on, let's talk about it uncut on the Patreon. That's what we're going to do.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Subscribe
Uncut,
to the Patreon.
unedited, ruthless, uncensored, and rude. So if you get your feelings hurt, you have no business in there. You're the problem.
What he said.
What I said.
I'm just playing. But
I'm not.
I'm not joking either. But I don't even remember what we was talking about. Oh, college. Yeah, college.
But she's like, college. But in all actuality, I made the brave decision to not go to college because I believed in my own education. I believe that, hey, if I'm sitting here trying to learn how to make a meal, if I want to make a meal, how about I sit there and buy this course from this person that made a meal instead of going listen to my professor that never made a meal. You feel me?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Exactly. That just made the most sense to me. And it's really common sense, you know. It's logical, but for some people, because it's the untraditional way, that's when it gets the hate, because it's like, no, you can't do that because everybody else in your family did it. Okay, but what if I turn out the richest in my family?
Right.
Boom.
And like how I was saying earlier, everything that works for somebody else might not work for you. Who's to say you followed the way they told you to do it and maybe you would have gotten interested in it. Maybe it would have been boring and it would have driven you away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm wasting money. Now I'm in debt.
Yeah, see? Boom.
Like, my credit's bad. My car is taken away. I'm in debt and I'm broke and I'm growing a beard and I can't get a haircut. Like, bro, that's depressing.
He said growing a beard.
That's depressing.
Can't get a haircut.
How could you do that to yourself?
Don't force people to do things that they don't want to do.
Exactly.
Let them experiment and try in their own ways, because everyone's going to have a different lesson. It's going to be different for everybody, period. That's all. I'm done.
This galaxy and this universe has such unlimited perceptions that I will never, ever try to force someone to contrary to my beliefs. It's just not right. It's not right, and it's actually impossible. That's just not how it should go. It shouldn't go like that. I'm a firm believer that everybody should have their own will in what they want to do. And you know what? They want to do it. Do it.
Bro,
if someone comes to me and say they want to start a business, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Do it. No, you have to find out if it's for you or not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you. Or is being an entrepreneur for everybody? No. Is working 9 to 5 for everybody? No. But who am I to tell you when you come and say, hey, Zay, I want to start a business? Why? It's not for everybody. No.
Right.
That's weird. I'm not going to do that. So
yeah, just let them experiment and freestyle. That's what my dad said. He's like, life is all about freestyling. You just see what works for you and go with the flow, and you just live. Life is about living.
Exactly. In my opinion, with life, as I really surface the flow with this, there is no meaning to life. The meaning to life is to just be. Right. So if you want to sit there and do something, shoot the gun, miss on purpose. Shoot the gun and be imperfect on purpose. I heard that quote from Justin Walker. Shoot the gun and be imperfect on purpose. See where the bullet lands, pick it up, and look where you're at. You'll be good. You know, you'll be good. That's where you start off at. Just jump in the water, test the waters, see where it leads you, pick up from there, learn from whatever you did. You go straight like that.
And it's once you start doing, I guess freestyling. Once you start freestyling, I feel like your life just gets more enjoyable, even more too. You start appreciating things you never even thought you would appreciate. Like, you start staring in the sky and be looking at clouds and be about to cry because you're like, dang, it's just so beautiful. Thank you, God. Like, I don't know. I be having moments like that where I just feel so grateful to even just be alive, just to wake up. Like, real life, just wake up and just get a chance to try something new.
I feel you.
You know,
a big part about being a human is accepting our primal nature. Anyways, we're supposed to be in nature. We're supposed to be in the sky. We're primal. We're animals. We're mammals, scientifically. Yeah. So if the lions, the tigers, the whatever gorillas are in the wild, get you out, get you some grass. You don't have to be cooped up inside all day. Drink some water, because that's what every other mammal does. Accept your primal nature. I think that'll also tune in your spiritual growth and open your mind to new heights when you sit there and become the most natural state that you could be possible.
Right. I like to go in the morning and go to the river and go sit at the river. I put my blanket out. Or sometimes I just sit in my car, but I put my blanket out and I just lay in the grass and the sun just be on my skin, and I just see all the ships passing, and you just go out there and you pray and meditate and stuff like that, and it's just a really like a surreal feeling, and it'd be tripping me out the most because it's just like how there's some people that would never experience some stuff like that in the world. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying?
Like I'll go run at this building called the Civic Center in my city. I'll go run downtown, and it's by the boardwalk, so it's a big river, like it's by the Gulf of Mexico. So it's like so I'll just sit there when I'm tired. I'll just go look at the ducks over there quacking up a storm. I'm like, this is cool. Like how can y'all not like nature? Like, I'm sitting there, the ducks quacking, eating bread. I'm like, this is cool, bro. Like, right. This is cool. Like, the ducks over there quacking. I see a big swan. I take a picture of it. Like, this is cool, bro.
We enjoy the same things. And
exactly.
He said quacking up a storm.
Yeah, like, they quacking. Like, I be feel like they be talking to me. Like, I'll go over there. Man, get out. Like, I'll go over there. You know, I'm finna go by the bridge. They like, boy, where you going? You know, like stuff like that. You know, because it's like you can tell when they being aggressive. You can tell when they just like, okay, I guess he's just not gonna move. You know,
that's funny.
He's not a threat. He just tall. Like, you know,
that's hilarious. But it's just funny because for real, some people don't even be noticing or get to see stuff like that.
Exactly.
And it's so simple. It's crazy. It's like everyday stuff, though.
It's everyday stuff. It's stuff that we were conditioned to get out of, though. You know,
right.
Humans never came in here saying, you know what, let's get houses. Let's drive cars. No, that's just our minds are evolving. You know, we have an AI chat. AI is literally the future of the world. Like, I can literally type things into the AI that I never learned from a teacher in class. In my opinion, I think school will be replaced by the AI. There'll be some lucky people, though, because I hated school. I hated school, you know.
Technology crazy. Like my daughter, for example, she liked to be like in an iPad and in phones and stuff like that. And whenever I was her age, like me and my sister and brother would be outside, really outside, just chasing each other. We'd be all the way at the park, far away from the house. I don't know, just outside.
Outside.
And I feel like the younger generation today, like they about to be like this. Because they next gonna be like this from looking at tablets and stuff all day.
Yeah, like, you know,
they not like she not observant to the world.
I'll be observant to the world so much, like I'll, you know, hopping on the porch, rocking back and forth, you know, like
right,
just outside.
I'm trying to break her out.
Just outside, you know,
because it's not. She noticed pictures on the side on Chapatulas, like they have like these painting on these concrete things, and she never even noticed them. But she didn't have no tablet, so today she noticed them. And she's like, oh, wow, that's so pretty. And I'm like, yeah, I've been there. You were looking out the window.
Just acknowledge nature.
Right.
And you know what's so crazy? You know what's the coolest thing in the world to me? Fire, bro. Like, fire is so beautiful.
Fire is beautiful.
Fire is beautiful.
Scary.
Just don't touch it, though.
You're right.
Just don't touch it. You can look at it if it's like 10 feet away from you. But, you know, if you're just looking at fire, it's like, dang.
It be dancing.
Like, it be like, you know, dancing and stuff. It be jumping. I'm like, man, how did that become orange? Like, I have to like really ask myself those type of questions, you know.
I really like water the most.
But we turn this into the geographic show.
I know. Like, what are we even talking about at this point?
Man, we turn this to a geographic show, but I like conversation like this because it's pure. Like this is not scripted at all. Like
it's not actually.
This is off the dome. Like we're having a genuine conversation.
No notes the whole time. Look at me.
So yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if there was anything else you would like to talk about. I don't know.
Just a message. You know, just a message.
Yeah. What message would you like to share?
If anything you want to do in life, please stay consistent. Stay consistent. Please embrace mistakes. Embrace your mistakes because they will come your highest. Like I said, learning equals success. Failure equals learning. You cannot grow without the suffering. That's the value in suffering. Suffering is a beautiful aspect of life, and it's something that we should embrace instead of saying that it's bad. It's not bad because it's normal. It's in the yin and yang. You know, it's supposed to exist because it coexists with good things. Good things only matter in our perception. You wouldn't know something is bad unless someone told you that this is good and that contradicted the good thing, you know? So just embrace everything. Just be there and you'll live life a lot better. That's it. What I got.
I like the message. That was a great message to share.
I like the message too. Thank you.
That was a really great message to share.
Thank you. Hope y'all took that in.
Well, I don't have a message to share. I like his message, so I agree. How about I approve this message?
There we go.
I approve this message. But I would definitely want to thank you for coming out here.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure.
Good experience.
It's a pleasure to have you. If you ever want to talk again, look, you're more than welcome to come. Look,
I'll hit you up. Try that 3 hours again.
That's a long time, y'all. I feel bad. Like he had to come.
You didn't know. I never told you that.
Yeah, you didn't.
Never told you that. I did that on purpose.
Do
you need? Nope. I'll come. I'll come. I'm from here. I love New Orleans.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. Yes. And yeah, because like if you would have told me that, I would have been like, oh my gosh, I would have set something up. I wouldn't have made you come drive out here. It's a lot of
Let's meet in Lafayette. Nope, stay home.
Excuse me. That's literally what I would have done. I was like, let's meet somewhere closer. That's a lot of driving.
Yeah, but like I love New Orleans. I love New Orleans for sure. So
welcome here.
you know.
I'm talking so much. Look, I was supposed to be closing out. Okay. Thank
She
you
enjoys
guys.
the conversation so much. Look, I interrupted the outro.
You funny. You got jokes, y'all. You've been joking this whole time. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining this episode, and I want to thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Make sure you go follow him on Instagram at Zay Hilaire. I don't want to spell it wrong, so you spell
It's
it.
Zay Hilaire. ZayHilaire. Zay Hilaire, CEO of Out of Body USA. Y'all can follow my brand too at Out of Body USA. And remember, ascend, grow, and heal. There we go. Let's talk about it.
Thank you. And we out.